Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can get notified when future videos are released. All right, guys, so today we're gonna do the East Germantown section of Philadelphia. This address was provided to me by a viewer. She asked if I can go through her old neighborhood. So currently we're passing Church LA and Boyer Street. We have a gentleman getting out of the vehicle in front of us. As always, you guys are more than welcome to add your own input, tell your own stories, share your own knowledge in the comment section. I don't have no specific set destination today. I'm just gonna zigzag through the neighborhood. We're in the East Germantown section of the city. Okay, we are going to make a left. I believe we're on Locust Street. I think this is the street that she used to live on. We're on the 800 block of Locust. Yes, this is East Locust Street. We had that nice Monte Carlo luxury sport on my left hand side. I love that body right there. My pop got one too. This is a 2-story block. We got a house for sale on my left hand side. We're on Locust and Bloyd Street with an L, Bloyd. I'm gonna make a left right here on Bloyd Street. I'll just zigzag around the neighborhood. It's a 2-story residential block. It seems like every house has a porch. All of the brick surfaces seem to be original, except the one on the far right at the end, and the one on the left. There's a tan house and there's a burgundy house. I guess they painted the bricks. This one on the left has been painted also. 5500 block of Bloyd Street. I'm gonna make a left right here. The one-way street we're on. If you're new, make sure to check out my Philadelphia Hoods playlist with over 200 plus hood tours. Most recently, I've been expanding the niche and doing narrated tours, a variety of narrated tours, from rapper neighborhoods to top 10 worst neighborhoods, to nice neighborhoods, to covering little sections of the city, from neighborhoods that viewers submit, and more. I also do walking tours, driving tours and walking tours. I prefer to do the driving tours because I'm able to cover more square miles within the time that I shoot. I'm trying to make these an hour long. I think an hour is the sweet spot. Occasionally you'll see a 2-hour or more long tour, but this one is going to be 1 hour long. All right, we're passing Locust. See Boyer Mini Market on my right. Have some 3-story homes on my left with attics, and then you go back to 2-story homes. So I don't know if those 2-story homes were originally 2 stories and somehow along the line they got 3 stories added. We're on Boyer and Woodlawn, 5600 block of Boyer. We got Sharon's little spot on my left hand side. Looks like what used to be some type of bar. Let's make a right here. We're gonna make a right. House for sale on my right hand side, 916. We're passing Nelson Street. Nelson. We have Devon Street, the 5600 block of Devon Street. You see Devon Grocery. I'm gonna make a right hand turn. Could be Devon or Devon, depending on how you pronunciate it or pronounce it. Check out these houses on my left hand side and the ones on my right. They don't follow no specific zoning code. It looked like at one point there was a zoning code, like all the houses would be uniform, but then they changed them up. We're on Devon and Locust Ave. I've did this neighborhood already. It's on my Philadelphia Hood Tour playlist, but it wasn't narrated. Look at this house on my right hand side. See how you got like a porch, but then on the second floor of the porch it has like a deck. Yeah, I don't know if that was legit, like if they went through zoning, got the permits to do it, if they just built like a ghetto deck up top. Got a basketball court leaning down on the ground. We got an empty lot. Most of these empty lots had houses back in the day, but they got burned down and they ended up getting demolished. No trespassing on my left-hand side. The city of the Department of License and Inspection closed that garage down. Wow. We got barbed wire on the building on my left-hand side. What is it? A&J Mini Market. Yeah, probably so people don't try to plot on them from the top. Yeah, it's barbed wire all around that business. I'm gonna make a left here. We had Wister Mini Market on my left-hand side. We just passed that. Passing Steak City Deli on Sprague Street. Yo, these names be priceless. Sprague, it sounds like ragu. You guys are more than welcome to help me with the pronunciation. We are next to Blakemore Street, 5500 Blakemore. We're now approaching Spencer Ave on my right, and we're gonna make a left on Matthew Street on my left-hand side. Wait for this oncoming traffic. Alright, this block looks nice and uniform. Seems like the residents care. They got flower pots out front. Those poles are meant so people don't park in front of the house. Some people get those installed because they don't want people parking on their sidewalk. We have this house for sale on my left-hand side, for sale by owner. Same thing, as you can see, they put those stones in front of their property. Those stones are so people don't park. It's one-sided parking only. Most of the brickwork in front of the houses are original. Nothing's really been done to them. The ones on the end have some aluminum siding and some colorful awnings, which are really faded. See, yellow and green and whatnot. But there's a little bit of trash in the streets. Okay, we're on Matthews. We're about to cross over to the 5600 block of Matthews. We have a beautiful church ahead of us, as you guys can see. It's a really big building. I like the stylization of it. It looks like it was built in the 1800s. I won't be surprised if it was built in the late 1700s. It looks castle-like, almost like a castle. Matthews. We're on Matthews and Shelton Ave. We have an abandoned house directly in front of us. It's a two-story house with two stair cases or sets of stairs, depending on how you like to look at it. And it has a little miniature lawn. It's poorly kept though. We're gonna make a left on Shelton Ave. I got traffic coming, so I'm trying to approach with caution. Alright, we're in. We're gonna make this other left on Blakemore. We're currently on Blakemore Street. Speed limit's 25. Got a basketball court on my left-hand side. Must be kids out here playing basketball and whatnot. Got some Texas license plate on my right-hand side. Shout out to Texas. 5600 block of Blakemore. We're approaching a Chinese store. I just saw a handicap ramp or lift on my left-hand side where that porch was at. Somebody there must have a wheelchair and they made a wheelchair accessible. We're on Blakemore and Woodlawn Street. It is usually a good group of guys out here on the corner. I'll pass through here on a few other tours. And in the summer, you'll usually see a lot of people out on the blocks. Since it's cold season, not a lot of people are out. And then I have other tours that I'm doing today too, along with other things that I have obligations to. So I try to do, if I could, 2-3 tours, maybe sometimes 4 tours. You know, that's 4 hours straight back to back of touring and rambling on and trying to, you know, describe the neighborhood for you guys. So that could become somewhat tiresome after a while. Wow, the Audi on my right was hit. You seen the door was hit, but then the Audi on my left is parked on the sidewalk. The Audi on my left is from Maryland. Drive carefully. Got the speed limit is 25. Got the Chevy Cruze double parked in the street. On my right hand side we got that Dodge Charger. It says all-wheel drive. I have no understanding on why that would be all-wheel drive. I'm not a big Dodge Charger fan, so I mean I guess the Dodge Charger fans could correct that. Aren't Dodge Chargers rear-wheel drive? They got like the police light right there in the front next to the driver mirror, but it looks privately owned because it has like a Punisher skull type of emblem on the fender, meaning that they probably bought it from the auction. Police in Philadelphia tend to sell off their old enforcement vehicles at auctions. So you can get lucky, you can buy an old cop car that was literally used in service. They just removed all the logos, and it usually comes with like the police package, the stronger motors, comes with like the interceptor, comes with a lot of other little perks. All right, let's make, we're on Wister Street. We got the 400L bus on my left hand side. I'm gonna make a right on Wister. Passing Sprague Street, or Sprague. Sprague. I'm gonna call it Sprague. It reminds me of ragu. You know ragu sauce for spaghettis? How many of y'all like spaghettis? I love spaghetti. I love pasta. We're passing Devon Street. Like low key, I might have a hairline of an Italian or something in me. Cause I love me some pasta. I swear I love it. I love it. I love it. All types of pastas. All right, we're passing Church Lane. I'm gonna make this right on Church. Take this straight up. This is the original block that we started off at. We'll go through her block once more, and then we're just gonna keep going straight because I believe I made a left where her block was at. I didn't go straight, so I'll go straight this time around. Check out the houses on my right hand side. Look at the third, oh, and the ones on my left too, some of them. You see the third floor? Got like the double A top windows, and some have single A top windows. I don't know the correct term for what that's called. I call it A top because it's shaped like an A, or like a triangle, but I'm gonna make this left here. I didn't even notice this little grill that's out here next to the mailbox. You see the grill? There's a whole grill out here, and then there's actually a little lunch truck here. Yeah, there's a lunch truck. That black truck is probably a lunch truck. I don't know if it's still in service, but that Monte Carlo again with the Impala. Yes, Impala, that's an SS. I always liked that body style right there. All right, we're back on Locust Ave and Bloyd. We're gonna cross over Locust Ave. We're crossing Bloyd now. Look at the houses on my left-hand side. They're pushed back and they're even taller. And then you got some that are normal, like 2 stories with, I wonder what's the story behind those houses. Some of them look like they had additional third floors added on at a later period of time. All right, we're on Locust Ave and Chew Ave. We could be potentially crossing over to another neighborhood, so I'm probably just gonna make a right down Chew and try to zigzag through here. On the right hand side, we got Sijo. It's spelled S-I-J-O, so I don't know if it's really Sijo Deli Grocery Market or if it's, you know, pronounced with the accent. J can also be pronounced as an H, so Sijo Deli and Grocery. And on my left-hand side, we got an Allah Grill, Big Mo's Allah Grill. Gentleman right there got some super duper long, what's that, braids or dreadlocks? I don't even know. Gray Street. Let's go down Gray Street, sister. No, I was gonna go down Gray Street. See the police just pulled somebody over, and those look like 2 younger cops too. 2 younger cops are on the force. Let's go down Woodlawn. We're gonna make a right down Woodlawn. Then we got several rest in peace memorials here. Rest in peace Jimmy, rest in peace Zach, and rest in peace Gorilla. 5V Jungle. Rest in peace to the fallen soldiers who were taken too early. You guys are more than welcome to chime in on the crime rate over here in this community. I know occasionally I hear of, you know, shootings in Germantown, robbery in Germantown. I'm not from the Germantown community, so I can't tell you a full history of Germantown, but the original glorious church on my left-hand side. Sharon's little spot. Yeah, we passed this earlier. Boyer, we're on Boyer. Let's cross over again. We're gonna pass that park because I believe we turned. Oh, we did. We turned on Nelson. No, we didn't turn on Nelson. We turned on Devon or Devon. It's probably Devon. It's probably Devon. Most likely it's Devon instead of Devon. Devon is probably with like an A at the end. What school is this on my left-hand side, y'all? What school? What school? Name that school. Name that school. We got this dude doing construction. I guess he's cleaning up. Yeah, he just did the cement. The cement for the sidewalk. Alright. Woodlawn and Sprague Street. We ain't never go down Sprague, right? Hold on, let's come down Sprague later. Let's keep going straight. Because I feel like if we go down Sprague, we're going to end up back on the block we was already on. Let's go up a little bit more. Yeah, we passed Blakemore. Because I remember the Chinese store. We already went through Matthews. Passing Matthews. Let's make a left here. Ardley. Somebody dumped their sofa right there. Check it out. They left their sofa right there at the corner next to the public pool. I guess they didn't want it in front of their house for trash day, so they left it next to the park. That sucks. We're on the 5600 block. On my right hand side, we got Lonnie Young Recreation Center. We're approaching Shelton Ave. We got Torres Mini Market on my left hand side. I'm gonna make a left here on Shelton Ave. We're gonna go down Sprague Street. I think now is the perfect time to go down Sprague. Or it could be Sprague if the U's silent. You know what I mean? We got New Journey Christian Center on my right. Yo, some people they be cracking me up when they like on a couple of my videos. People be like, I hate the way that he pronounces the street names, or he doesn't pronounce the street names right. I mean, it's only right. It's like me trying to tell you to pronunciate a Spanish last name or pronounce a Chinese name or pronounce an Indian name, and you don't know how to properly pronunciate it. You might slaughter the pronunciation also, so bear with me, guys. That's why I got that comment section open. Us as content creators, we can close the comment section. We can leave it no comments, but what fun would YouTube be if you guys can't comment, right? So I like to leave that open. Whether you guys leave positive feedback, constructive criticism, or negative feedback, I like to just leave that option there. Alright, we already made a left down Ardley Street. Remember, we went on the left-hand turn where the sofa was at, 5600 Ardley. We're going to let this Nissan go by. You can go by. And then we're going to cross over this time. We're going to go down Woodlawn, on the 1100 block of Woodlawn. We got Jane Street on my right, so let's go down Jane. Godfrey is after that. Let's see if we can come back up Godfrey. We're going down Jane Street. Check out these entrances. Now, they have like, you see it? Like a shared entrance. There's two staircases that go up with like a little partition in the middle. Wow, there's a sign that says road may flood. So that means this neighborhood has a historical problem of flooding, and I see a lot of the foundation is cracked. Like on the first floor, not all of them, but some of them, yeah, some of them are cracked. That could be because of moisture. Moisture and Mother Nature in general tends to be like foundation's worst enemy. All right, we're on 5500 Jane. We're gonna make this left here on Worcester Street. Let's make this left. We got a desk, little straight letter right there with TMH, the most hated, and Mace. I actually met Dask many years ago when he was a youngster. Corinthian Square on my right hand side. We're gonna make a left up Godfrey. We're gonna left on the 5500 block of Godfrey Avenue. Woodlawn Ave and Godfrey Ave. Alright, we're gonna make a right on Woodlawn. We got a park right here that has, it looks like a baseball field. Yeah, baseball field. We buy houses fast, and then we buy cars. You see those 2 yellow signs? Yeah, investors will come in this neighborhood, and since they know it's falling apart, they'll slap that sign everywhere because they know there's people ready to sell. It's on my left-hand side too. We buy houses. Yeah, I always kind of resented those signs. I ain't ever really like them. Make a left here on Anderson, on the 5600 block of North Anderson. Look at the crowns on these houses right here. These are 2-story houses, but check out the crowns. They got that double A, like a double A awning over each window. We're on Shelton. Let's cross over. Let's cross over Anderson. We're on 5600 Anderson. We're gonna cross over to the 5700. There's a church on my left-hand side. We got Divine Treasure Daycare on my right-hand side. Now I'm rolling. Yeah, let's cross over. But in Philadelphia, something as simple as crossing over an avenue like this, it's do not enter. There goes me not paying attention. Yeah, in Philadelphia, crossing over something as simple as an intersection like that could take you to another neighborhood. What I'll do is I'll make a left at this corner and then I'll come around. Yeah, I'm not using a GPS, guys. I'm just zigzagging, driving about, taking me wherever the universe takes me. Passing Shelton Ave and Shelton Ham. Wow. Passing Wister. We're gonna make a left right here on Wister. Crittenden. We just passed Crittenden Street. We're at 65th Ave and Wister. Wister grocery store on my right hand side. You know that classic car we just passed? It looked like an Impala. Had a soft top too. Those are rare. A coupe soft top Impala. If that was, I didn't get a real good look at it, but that's what it looked like. Then it could be a Monaco, or a Polara. Price Street. On Price Street. Wow, look how giant these houses are on my right. They have porches, they're 3-story, and the front awning of the windows like extrude or protrude out. I don't know what's the correct term for it, but they stick out. Masjid Isha of Philadelphia on my right hand side. Passing 65th Ave. We got Stylistic Hair Salon on my left. We're gonna cross over Crittenden Street. Lil Bo's Pete's Den on my right. A road may flood sign again. Mango Grocery. We got Brush Road on my right. Let's go down Brush Road just cause. 5800 Brush. We got an Ohio tag on my left from Ohio. Shout out to the Ohio crew. There ain't no real crew called Ohio crew. That's just me being friendly, y'all. Somebody gonna be like, there ain't no such thing as an Ohio crew. I'm from Ohio. Y'all be cracking me up, yo. I gotta, find joy in every comment. I'm on Brush Road, the 5800 block of Brush Road. I can make a right, I can make a left. Let me go left so I can stay in the East Germantown section. Mess around and go right and then leave the East Germantown section. Got another car coming. I think right now, I can go right up. Boom. What was the name of that park? We just passed the park, y'all. Comment the name of that park. We're gonna make a left down Stockton Road. Just made a left down Stockton Road. All right, this block looks a little bit more well kept. Yeah, the houses look a lot better. The lawns look more well kept. I mean, some of them are still shaggy, but the little trees or the bushes are groomed. They got decorations on my left. Missed them because the yellow school bus was blocking it. But yeah, the houses look a lot better. I won't be surprised if some of these houses have furnished basements. It all depends on the homeowner. If the homeowner really wants to go that far and furnish their basement, meaning make their basement with sheetrock and throw a floor and throw a ceiling and probably put a bathroom and or bar, because I've seen a couple furnished basements in person, and you know, people change them up and stylize them like to man caves or something like that. All right, we're gonna make a right. Let's make this right. We got that big church coming up. We're on Price Street and Anderson Street. Yeah, guys, and if sometimes I like don't say street or I don't say Ave, it's not because that's what it's called. Like if I just say we're passing Price and I don't say street or I don't say Ave, it's not because I'm saying it's called Price. Sometimes I may forget, you know, like to read it, or I might be in the middle of a subject and I won't read it. A couple times they said that. They said that on one of my videos when it said Snyder, we're now passing Snyder. And in the comments it was like, Ave, don't forget Ave. That's how petty some people will be, yo. But it's cool because they really looking out. Like all them comments really, really, really helping the channel. All right, we're on Price and Arlay. I'm gonna go straight just so y'all can see this church right here. You can't really see it that much, but you can see like the side of it. It's huge. New Journey Christian Center. I'm sure it has an original name. It looks like it got the rectories and all of that. Yeah, it looks like one of those big churches that have rectories and all of that stuff. Alright, we're not gonna go down Sprague because we'll end up back in the same block. Yeah, let's just keep crossing. Yeah, some of the churches back in the day, like Catholic churches, when they had those real big, you know, square blocks that took up a whole block, and they had the church in the middle and like a rectory on the left and another building on the right and whatnot, they would like keep the nuns on one building. They would keep the I don't know if they were priests or pastors. I don't know. That's not my religion, so I wouldn't be able to tell you the actual facts to it, but I do know based on St. Boniface Church, which I knew real well growing up, located in Philadelphia, PA, around Diamond Street. St. Boniface had that setup where they would keep the I guess the nuns on one side, they would keep the pastors on the other side, preachers, I don't know what's the correct term. We're passing Price and Boyer, and what they would do is in the middle is where they would hold service, and then they would have like in the back they would have like a Catholic school. And that whole block would basically take up something that was all related to the school or to the church. And underground was a lot of tunnels. Like underground was a lot of connected, like lower areas where you can cross paths. Because I know in St. Boniface, when I explored St. Boniface, that's how it was. And I even found what looked to be like cells. It looked like, I don't know, they were holding cells in the basement of the church. But then again, I won't be surprised because back in the day, church was a lot more firm and strict. So I won't be surprised if that's how it was. If you got in trouble in the Catholic school, they might lock you in the basement for a couple hours. I don't have no facts, guys. You could say I don't know what I'm talking about, and I agree. But yeah, I'm telling you from based on experience, when I did see that one church, St. Boniface, that's what I saw. And I saw that even though they were meant to be separated, we're gonna cross over chill. Even though they were meant to be separated, I was able to cross through all the church property from underground. So I was able to come from the rectory to go to the middle of below the church, the big giant cathedral-like church, whatever you want to call it, and then went to the other building, and like that whole ground was connected. It was kind of creepy because you think like in the 1800s, like these, you know, I guess they would hold services and stuff up top, but maybe, I don't know if it was maybe the people who took care of the building, the groundskeepers or whatever, who would travel on the ground, but somebody was traveling on the ground. We can make a right, we can make a left. Let's just make a right so y'all can see this park in this school, because somebody probably remembers this park and the school and got some memories here. Rittenhouse. We're gonna make a right on Rittenhouse Street. Near these trees blocking this house right here. Gives them a little bit of privacy, right? I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of good, it's kind of bad. Kind of bad because those trees eventually grow and go break up the ground, break through your basement, break through your plumbing and all that. But it's kind of good because it gives you privacy. So when people drive by, they don't necessarily look at you sitting on your steps. These houses right here on Chill kind of look, you know, pretty neat compared to the rest of the area. Now they got like the lawns. Let's go through this block right here. Whoa, come on, people. Y'all not even giving me the benefit of the doubt. People are patient. On my left-hand side, I had a whole crew flying, and I made it across the intersection before them, but they don't believe in slowing down. Wow, this block is actually well kept. Yeah, well kept. It has a new street, new asphalt, smooth street. The houses look, you know, pretty well kept. Cobblestone siding, yeah, cobblestone fronts. See an older gentleman standing right here. Two older gentlemen talking, so. Yeah, New York tag. I just passed some New York tag. Shout out to New York. Yeah, let me cross back over so we can go to the East Germantown section, because something's telling me I just crossed over sections. Remember I was telling y'all earlier, you could cross over one avenue and completely change the section of Philly you're in, or the neighborhood, I should say. Look at these big trees, giant trees on the front lawn, right? Let's go down Sprague Street. There you go. Sprague. Remember? Sprague. When the moon heats the sky, that's a big pizza pie. That's amore. I don't know, guys. That came to my head when I thought of ragu. Alright, so we're going back down Sprague Street. Sprague. I don't know. I'm gonna get like a million comments just because I pronunciated Sprague wrong. Sprague. I think it's Sprague. That's what it looked like to me. S-P-R-A-G-U-E. Sprague. I mean, I'm not the smartest person, but I kind of knew how to pronounce words. Stafford. You know what I mean? Stafford. We got Philadelphia ceasefire, stop shooting people bus on my left-hand side. It's like a mobile bus. I guess that was promoting anti-violence in the neighborhood, which is cool. It's always cool to see that in the area. Shelton Ave. Shelton Ave is also known as D.P. Richardson Jr. Boulevard. We have a female getting off of the bus. I'm gonna give her an opportunity to roll across. A car behind me wanted to fly over me, but I don't know if they wanted me to run this lady over. That's the thing. People don't have common courtesy for their fellow human being. And it was a female that's behind me. So you would have thought the female would have said, let me give him an opportunity to let that lady go by. Because if I would have ran the lady over, if hit the lady or rushed the lady, the female behind me would have probably been angry. Like, why didn't you wait? So it's like a 50-50, man. You got to make your best judgment. Look at that church on my right-hand side. It's a Baptist church. It's called New Gethsemane Baptist Church. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to go one more block. Bloyd, there you go. Bloyd was around where we started our little journey. Let's go down Bloyd. We got the graffiti. We got some clean hands. We got some sloppy hands. I know most people don't approve of any graffiti. They don't approve of anything that's not supposed to be written on the side of a building. But there is a such thing as clean script and sloppy and what they call toy script. Like when somebody begins and they don't really know how to write, they don't know the hand style, they tend to call them a toy. I think that's like a cliche stereotypical name. I'll just say like the person doesn't really got a hand style. We're passing Woodlawn, but there is a such thing as really clean script, like where people know how to write, and if you understand it, you can give them credit. Like, man, that their hand nice, their hand clean. but the average person wouldn't really understand what I'm talking about unless you know graph. Graph is short for graffiti. Okay, we're back on Locust Ave, Bloyd and Locust Ave. I think this is the block where the lady lived on. The female who dropped the address. Yeah, I'm not always able to get to everybody's addresses like immediately. I think I got like a dozen requests to do different neighborhoods on top of everything that I already had in mind, because I already got my own little agenda that I'm going with, but I try to be kind and courteous to the viewer and touch their neighborhood, you know what I mean? Especially if they're very supportive, if they're commenting on several videos, if they got enough, heart in them to take time out of their day to comment on several of my videos, genuine comments, you know what I mean? Then it's only right that I at least try to contribute back and go through the neighborhood that they grew up in or whatever. All right, let's go down here. Church Lane, Church LA. Wister. Let's go left on Worcester Street, and then I'm gonna see if I can go right, so I can go to Beechwood and all that. Got that A&J mini market on my left, that Wister mini market with all the barbed wire in the beginning when I was talking about barbed wire. Yeah, they put barbed wire there too to stop the graffiti artists too, because sometimes if there's a perfect view, yeah, it looks like there was a view up top. This is a main avenue or main street that people travel. The graffiti artists will climb the fence to get on top of the building to do a throw up or piece. A throw up is a bubble letter basically in graffiti terms. A piece is like one of those more artistic, or they'll even do like a straight letter, which is kind of like a piece but without all the extra pretty stuff around it. It's just the most important stuff, which is the letters. I'm gonna make a right on Beechwood. Yeah, so they'll end up trying to climb on top of the mini market or whatever. I've seen them climb on everything: factories, warehouses, businesses, train stations, heaven views. A heaven view is on the highway, and they end up doing their artwork or graffiti on a highway sign on the 95 or a route, whatever you can think of, with basically busy traffic under, people going 70, 80 miles an hour. They'll climb the pole and they'll probably do it 3, 4, 5 a.m. and they'll put their name on the sign, the opposite side of the sign, or on the sign. And that's called a heaven view, because if you pass away, or if you fall down, you're gonna pass away, you're gonna go to heaven. Like an L view is called an L view because you can see it from the view of the L. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of other terminology, but we're on Beechwood Street, 5900 Beechwood. I actually shot a music video around here too. Yep, I shot a music video for the musician Low G's, L-O-G-E-E-Z, Low G's. Instead of Lil G's, Low G's. And he got his own little sounds got a nice little, in my opinion, a unique sound. I think in the comment section somebody said, oh, he sounds like this artist. But I don't listen to a lot of new music, so he sounded fresh to me when I shot his music videos. I shot 2 videos for him, and he's from this area, Uptown. Can I go left? No, it's one way. I want to go left though. All right, I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna go right. I'm gonna follow the law. Yeah, but I shot a music video in this neighborhood. Oh, I could have went left. I could have went left. Darn it. Could have really went left. It's cool. I see more graffiti. Wickeds, TNT, Latex, Spank, Snob, Mesa, Easy E. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna make a left on Grange Ave. I'm right here on Grange Ave. I'm about to make a left. Boom. Grange Ave. We just approached Grange Ave. We got a cop in the middle of that park. That's the park that we went around. No, Nah, this ain't even the park that we run around. This is a whole nother park. We're gonna make a left. This is a one-way, two-man. No, this ain't a one-way. A lot of these streets be two-way. You know how you could tell? Because of the street. You see at the end of it, you see the stop sign is facing to us. Or sometimes you can see the cars parked both ways. Yeah, behind me they park both ways. Now I'm gonna go down Norwood. Norwood is Low G's block. Or one of his blocks. Low G's is a good dude. Good dude. And the music video I shot for him, and it was on the next block. It was pretty cool. I think I shot both of his music videos on his block in this neighborhood. But a lot of the B-roll shots, B-roll, for those of you people who don't know what that means, that's a film terminology for supporting footage. A-roll is usually your primary shot, your storyline, or in music video terms, like the artist performing or whatever. B-roll is just, shots of the neighborhood, supporting shots. So there's a bunch of cops on my right-hand side in the middle of the street. By a bunch, it's probably like three cop cars. Not 2 cop cars. Yeah, they're in the middle of the street. I don't know if something happened over there, but yeah, this is Low G's block. So I shot a music video on this block. Shot a music video on the corner. Around this whole neighborhood, we walked through the block so I can get supporting footage to enhance the music video. That's the purpose of B-roll footage. B-roll is supposed to, enhance the quality of the video. It holds viewer retention, so you're not just looking at the same exact thing. Yeah, we was out here on this corner. It was a pretty cool environment. All right, I'm gonna go up one more block. I actually almost lost a drone over here too, flying in this neighborhood. For those of you guys who don't know, I think I had drones since they first became consumer products, meaning when they first came out, probably 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago, when they, the DJI Phantom 1, when the very first one came out, the very primitive one came out, I was fortunate enough to be able to have one as a film tool. That one, after several months of owning it, it flew away. Yeah, I lost $1,000 drone, a $300 gimbal that was on the drone, and I believe a $300 GoPro Black 4 Hero. All flew away. Boom. Yeah, it was after 3 shoots too. I had shot 3 batteries worth of footage, and on the 4th battery, it lost reception. One thing led to another. It disappeared. It kept flying and never came back, and I lost it. And with all the footage and everything. And I had a sign on it, reward if found, in case somebody found it and they wanted to call me and get a reward for it. Nope. Never ever got a call. So that thing is probably stuck on somebody's roof, and that was 7 years ago. But anyway, I think we're on Beechwood. I didn't even pay attention. But yeah. And then since then, I think I had 3 more drones. I ordered a new one after that, but when I got that was having technical difficulties, so I had to ship it back. Then I got another one. I think I sold that one for some apparent reason, because they came out with the professional, so I ended up getting the professional. And yeah, I still have my professional. I mean, they always come out with new technology every year or so. I think they got several other drones since then. But right here on this corner, I was in that lot, and I was flying, and I flew over. It was one of these avenues on my right. I don't even know what let me see. On Wister. Yeah, I was flying over Wister, and I was getting some aerial shots. And his music video shows the aerial shots that I captured around here. Got some nice shots. But it lost reception, and it ended up all the way past Wister, all the way over there, and I had to run after it, and I was already sick to my stomach because I lost, I already lost one. The thing was the first drones was kind of tricky. It was like a loophole, because you had to buy the drone, you had to buy the gimbal. The gimbal is what keeps the camera liquid smooth, steady. It keeps the access steady. And that's how you were able to tilt and do all of that, because the very first drones were primitive. If you wanted to put a camera on it, they didn't even come with a camera. You had to buy a camera. That's why we had to buy the GoPros. I had several GoPros, but you had to buy the camera in order to get aerial footage, aerial cinematography. After you installed the camera, if you wanted to get smooth footage, because it was really jerky and jittery, you had to buy a gimbal. So there was all these add-ons, and if you wanted smoother footage, you had to buy carbon fiber prop blades and longer landing gear and, you know, all that stuff. So the first one, I lost so much because I had to buy everything separate. On all the drones after that, when they released the drone 2, the DJI 2 and the 3, and now they got 4 and 5 and the Mavic and the Mavic Pro and all this stuff. Nowadays, the new drone users are lucky because they come with the camera, they come with the gimbal, they come with everything built in. So you don't gotta buy everything separate. And they're a lot cheaper now than in the beginning. And in the beginning, they were expensive. Now you get a drone for a lot cheaper. And there's a lot of other markets or other brands that have entered the market, I should say. And those brands provide, you know, affordable drones. So if you want to get drone cinematography, you can get drone at a fraction of the cost compared to when I first started flying drones. So yeah, that was a little side story on drones. Drones really changed my dreams. Drones provided me with the most immaculate dream experience ever. This is the last topic I'm gonna talk about when it comes to drones. We're on Church Lane and Wister Street. Let's make a left on Wister. Yeah, nay or yeah. Now let's go. Nah, that cuts down, so it's gonna be a dead end. So let's go left on Wister. When I started flying drones, especially around the drone 1, my dreams started changing. When I mean they started changing, I was able to fly by choice. I was able to control my dream, like a lucid dream. I was able to, once I realized I was dreaming, I was able to like shoot off from the ground like a superhero and fly and soar through my dreams and see the dream world from above. And I was flying like a bird, and it was one of the most euphoric, most happiest dream experiences I can ever describe in my life. If you've never had a flying dream, you are missing out. I repeat, if you've never had a flying dream, you are missing out. That is one of, if not the best dream experience ever. I don't know, to some young gentlemen, another dream experience might be the best, but no. Let me tell you, let me emphasize that flying dreams, and I owe it all to the drone experience, because I also started flying FPV, which is first person view with goggles, and I was flying with the goggles, so I was able to like see from up above. Oh man, the experience was incredible. But when I started flying drones, woo, my dreams, I was able to fly like Superman. And I've had probably, if I was lucky, not even, probably like a dozen or so flying dreams. And they were all different periods of my adult life since after flying the drone. But man, it was the best experience ever. Like, I can't describe it. Like, it almost felt like I could fly. Like when I would wake up, I would feel so happy, and like I would feel like the euphoria of like, it felt like I was flying last night. Like I spent like mad time flying everywhere. For all the older citizens, mad doesn't mean that I was mad. I was angry flying. Mad is another word. It's like a slang word for a lot. When you say, man, there's mad people out, it means not that the people that were out were mad, but it means that there was a lot of people out. Or you know, I felt like I was flying for mad hours, meaning I felt like I was flying for a lot of hours. So that's just a slang term. I'm sorry. Sometimes I let the slang get the best of me, but I'll do my best to break it down. We got a Mr. Fillmore Johnson. Wow, he was born on May 22nd, and he passed away on May 22nd? What? How is that even possible? Mr. Fillmore Johnson, born May 22nd, 1932, through May 22nd, 2005. Dedicated to Mr. Johnson and all those who helped this neighborhood grow. Neighborhood garden mural art. Wow, this dude passed away on his birthday. Like, how's that possible? Like, dude, like that like straight up just blew me away. I'm flabbergasted. Like, whoa, like the dude passed away, or the sir or the gentleman passed away on his birthday. Like, dang it, that sucks. It's supposed to be like your day you celebrate, and that was his born day and his D-Day. Whoa. I'm so tempted to like curse and like say, excuse my French, but that blew my effing mind. Like, brain F. I'll allow you guys to fill in the rest. So we probably already left the East Germantown section. I'm gonna make a right on Chew Ave. See if we can stay within the area. Woodstock. We got Woodstock Street. Let's make a right down Woodstock. That is crazy. He was born on May 22nd and he passed away on May 22nd, 2 days after my birthday, which is crazy. That is wild, yo. Look at this. They got a handicap lift right here for people who need wheelchair accessible entrances to their homes. Sometimes you can contact the city and they have like funding or like waivers, or you know, sometimes you got to pay for them out of pocket, especially if you don't have insurance. But sometimes on few occasions you can contact city programs and they'll come and they'll build that for you. Wow, that dude, Mr. Fillmore Johnson, sir, he kind of looks a little Korean, like his eyes look a little chinky, but I'm assuming that he was of quote-unquote black American descent. I say quote-unquote black American because I don't really like using the term black. I feel like, I don't know, I literally dedicated a whole video on my channel to why I don't call people black, and I explained it in that video. I'm not going to say it now because this isn't the time or place for it. I don't call people white, I don't call people black, I don't call people a color because I'm an artist. I'm not colorblind. You see that car right there? That car right there is white. Let's reverse a little bit. You see this car right here? This car right here is black. Neither human being is either of those two colors. So I don't want to offend anyone, but that's why I tend to say like Caucasian, or my homie Reckless Life says European, or he says Asiatic for the what you would call black, or I just like to say African American. But then again, some people commented on my videos and like, dude, like it's not African American. There's not many African Americans that live in. I'm like, dude, like I'm just trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like even the most darkest person, Michael Blackson, which is a comedian, that boy is dark chocolate, is brown. If you get on Final Cut Pro and you use the color dropper tool, where you, or Photoshop, and you color drop the color from their skin, and it comes up on the color scale, it doesn't come up as black, or it doesn't come up as white. It comes up as like a pink, as a peach, as a brown, as a deep brown, as a burgundy, but it doesn't, you know. So that's just my personal opinion, man. It's just an opinion, guys. What I'm saying it's not law. Passing Conlin and Lambert Street, that Accord has some gigantic, they look like 20s, and then they were offset, so they were sticking out like crazy. Got another handicap ramp on my left. So we passed through like 3 or 4 handicap ramps in this neighborhood. We had some weave on the floor, yo. Somebody left a weave. Weave is a hairpiece. I'm gonna go right here. On 21st and Chew Ave. I'm gonna keep on going straight. That's the Belfield Recreation Center. We might even, I won't be surprised if we left the East Germantown section, but my bad. So y'all didn't really have no like real destination here. Just trying to drive through the neighborhood. She used to live in this neighborhood, so I'm sure she remembers all this stuff. On Chew and Alany Ave. Chew Ave and Alany Ave. Right here. Put on my signal super last minute. I'm a horrible driver today. I like to put on my signals way before I get to the corner, but right now since I don't have a set destination and I'm just like last minute just winging it, I'm gonna go down right on Furley Street. Furley, the 2100 block of Furley. We have a male, I would say mailman, but it might be a woman. No, it's an Asian gentleman. Thought it was like a little woman, but yeah. And the mailman delivering mail. They put an Asian carrier in this community. He looked like an old guy too. I mean, not old, but he looked like an older gentleman. Check out this house in front of us. 5749. They painted the front bricks. Looks like an ash blue. And then the second story bricks is still the original brick color. And then the awning has white aluminum siding. And then the front of the second floor has black shingles. And then the front of the porch has cobblestone. And it looks like the side steps, the steps itself has some type of stone. Yeah, so they really went in there. We got somebody here double parking. We got some California tags right there. Shout out to anybody from California. Wow, did they drive that? Yeah, it says San Diego on the license plate tag cover. Wow, so that thing got mileage. Yo, we got a parking on my left, we got a parking on my right. Yeah, thank you. I was just about to say, yo, we got 2 parkings and this person chooses not to park. It might be Uber or it might be Lyft, so. Yeah, it's a California vehicle right there. I see so many California tags here. It's amazing. I'm gonna go around them so they don't feel like they gotta squeeze themselves in there because they might just be picking somebody up. Yeah, this is that park where the cop was at? Yep. Park where the cop was at. So let me go right. I'm gonna make a left, like right here. If I could. Let's see. Can I make a left? Yeah, I can make a left. Yeah, I think we already went through here. But it's cool, we don't go through here again. Nedro Mini Market. We're on Nedro, 21st and Nedro Ave. I see more graffiti. Chance. Haha, shout out to Chance. Met Chance, Wacko, IS in all spots, Clan. See, let me tell you guys my way of thinking when I think and I drive around. It's crazy because I be trying to do these tours, but low-key I be focused on so many different things, right? So first and foremost, I can read the walls. See, for example, NAW. We got NAW right here, UTS. See that on the wall? So I can understand the walls. The scribble scrabble that the stuff you guys call scribble scrabble, the writing on the walls, I can understand it. Then cars. I love cars. I'm kind of like a car enthusiast, but I really like cars below the 90s. You know, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. So they get my attention. I love colors, shapes, lines, depth of field. I pay attention to my atmosphere incredibly. Let's make this left here. We'll make this left on Church Lane because I like the way this block looks. This is actually the block that we went by while the cops was at earlier. The cops was right here. Yep, on Norwood. You got NBA on the left. Nicest barbers around. That's why it says NBA. And then instead of having an NBA logo, they got something that looks like an NBA logo, but with a barber sitting down with some scissors or something. But yeah, so I pay attention to so many different things. I pay attention to the graffiti. I pay attention to the cars. I pay attention to the street signs, to the colors, to the fronts of the buildings. I pay attention to all the moving objects around me, to the people, to the streets, because I'm avoiding potholes. So many different things. Like I got so many different things in my head being processed. Then I got some OCDs that I also, you know, still as an adult that I pay attention to. Like colors of cars. I used to really pay attention to them a lot more when I was a kid, but I would match up red cars with red cars, blue cars with blue cars, green cars with green cars. I was explaining this to my wife the other day. Like I would like watch tree on my right, car on my left, tree on my right, tree on my right, car on my left, car on my left, pole on my left, pole on my right, car on my left, car on my left, car on my left, car on my left, pole on my left, pole on my right, pole on my left, pole on my right. Sounds stupid, right? But that's kind of like the mind of an OCD person, somebody with obsessive compulsive disorder. It's like, it maybe seems so silly and something like so small, but the reality of it is like, you know what I mean? I pay attention to the dog on my right. Like, that's a beautiful dog. Oh, wow, that dog is beautiful. Like, I'm not being sarcastic, I'm being serious. That dog was beautiful. It looked like a lab, but it had like a creamy fur to it. Beautiful dog. But yeah, guys, so it's strange. That's why sometimes you guys hear me do these tours and I might veer off on a different subject, or I might stop what I'm saying, like a story, to say something else. Because I've never been diagnosed with autism, with ADHD, with hyperactive attention deficit disorder, all these different things. But I feel like growing up, you know, when I was in my young adult years, my 20s, now I'm in my early 30s, I Google, you know, with the help of Google and all that stuff. We got LaSalle University on my right-hand side, West Campus, just in case somebody wants to know that information. I started Googling and learning and researching like different things that I've noticed about myself when I grew up, and I think I have a lot of those traits of like an autistic person. I have a lot of traits of a person with, you know, ADHD or ADD or several different disorders or like things. I have like traits of those conditions. So you guys are joining me on this journey. You're seeing my quirky personality involved and mixed in all those things. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird. It's kind of new to me to have complete strangers get an outlook on my perspective and my way of thinking on life. But hey, it is what it is. And then I stutter, so combine that with everything, and it's like, oh man, a whole pot of mess. But all right, guys, so we're driving down Alany Ave. This will conclude our very short, uneducated tour of the East Germantown section. You guys are more than welcome to add your 2 cents, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. My stomach is growling. This is my second tour of the morning. I still got another 2 that I want to hit today, as well as still take care of my responsibilities and whatnot. So this is tuning out. Have a good day, guys.